We are following some breaking news this hour out of Russia, where officials there say the country's most prominent opposition leader, Alexey Navalny, has died in prison. A spokesperson for Navalny says they are still trying to confirm his death. For more on this, we go now to Imtiaz Tyab in London. Imtiaz, good morning. I want to start with asking you about the circumstances of his death. Speak to us about the conditions Navalny was facing in prison and his overall health leading up to this moment.
Hey, Chanel, good to be with you. Well, we have to understand that the prison that he's being held in is in the Arctic. It's one of the most remote prisons in Russia. It's also considered one of the harshest prisons. There's been extensive reporting on what conditions are like in those prisons from those who have spent time behind bars there. They say there's very little food. Most prisoners are held in very small cells. They're left inside those cells for around 23 hours a day. When they are allowed out, they are scrutinized very closely. But in a tweet from Alexey Navalny himself, a tweet that was no doubt dictated to his legal authorities or his legal assistants, who are the only people who are really allowed to meet with him, and even then very infrequently, he sent a wry tweet indicating how when he woke up in the morning and before he went to bed, he would hear the voice of Vladimir Putin. And by that he meant that he would all day speeches by Vladimir Putin would be played throughout the prison, including pro-Russia songs as well, something prisoner rights groups have described as a slow form of torture. Now, we have heard from the Russian prison authorities who said that Mr. Navalny was feeling, quote, unwell in the days leading up to his death. But of course, we have yet to hear from his own legal authority, or rather his own lawyers, who are saying they are still to confirm this. Chanel.
Imtiaz, has Russia responded yet?
Yeah, well, they have confirmed his death. We haven't heard anything else beyond that. But we have to remember that Alexey Navalny is not only Russia's most prominent opposition leader, he's someone who's been really a thorn in the side of Vladimir Putin for well over a decade. You know, it started out that he would speak out in a very different Russia than we are in today, obviously post-Ukraine invasion. But in a Russia, he would speak out against the excesses of Russia's elites, and he would criticize the corruption, as he put it, that permeated all of Putin's inner circle. And he was very harshly criticized by Vladimir Putin, and indeed the Russian authorities, who accused him of being a liar, quite frankly, of being an extremist, even going far as saying that he was somehow linked to the CIA. But I think what, of course, is very prominent, or what many people will remember, is Alexey Navalny was also poisoned. He was poisoned with a nerve agent in which he fell into a coma and was later treated in a German hospital. And he won praise by Russia's very fractured opposition, it has to be said, by coming back to Russia a year later in 2021, despite, again, having been poisoned. And independent Western analysts looked at his health, looked at his blood work, and determined that he was poisoned with something known as Novichok, which is a nerve agent. Again, whatever the case, he has been in a prison since 2021, and even behind bars, he continues to be this very potent voice and this very potent symbol for those in Russia who are opposed to Vladimir Putin. Chanel.
So I wonder what this means for the bigger geopolitical picture here, especially with the Russia-Ukraine war still raging on.
Yeah, there's a lot. And let me start by just sort of reading out some of the reaction that we've been seeing around the world, particularly in the EU and indeed in Ukraine. We have Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky saying, and I'm quoting here, "It's obvious Russia's Navalny was killed by Putin. Putin does not care who dies and seeks to maintain his position." We've also heard from the Latvian President, Edgar Rinkēvičs, who went on to say that whatever your thoughts about Alexey Navalny as a politician, he was, and again, and I'm quoting here from the Latvian president, he was just brutally murdered by the Kremlin. We've also heard from the EU Parliament, who said the world has lost a fighter whose courage will echo through the generations, saying that they're horrified by the death of Alexey Navalny, and saying, and again, this is the EU president, that Russia took his freedom and his life but not his dignity. It's very clear around the world that Alexey Navalny's death in a Russian prison was, in their view, a murder committed by Vladimir Putin, who has a very long history of going after any of those opposed to him. Now, Mr. Putin, we haven't heard from him, but one would imagine that he will deny having any involvement in Navalny's death in the way that he denies involvement in any other deaths that he's linked with. You have to remember just a few months ago where the leader of the Wagner group, Prigozhin, died in an airplane crash. Again, people have accused Vladimir Putin of being behind that airplane crash in which Prigozhin was killed. Prigozhin, of course, you remember, was a man who is believed to have essentially tried to orchestrate a coup, a very short-lived one, it has to be said. And so here we have it, within months of each other, once an ally of Vladimir Putin and then somebody who turned against him, losing his life, and now the fiercest ally and the biggest opponent to Vladimir Putin, one who is in a Russian prison, also now dead. Chanel.
Imtiaz Tyab in London, thanks so much.